If boxing is called the sweet science, then Pernell Whitaker is its Albert Einstein. His defense was incredible, his footwork flawless, and his ability to read opponents unmatched. This guy was a true daredevil. In the ring, he wasn't just a champion, he was a defensive genius. Whitaker loved the thrill of battle, feeling the breeze of punches just barely missing him. He even fought with a broken jaw. Today, we're diving into the story of the legendary Pernell Whitaker, known as Sweet Pea and the Untouchable, his greatest fights, and his tragic fate. Pernell was born in 1964 in Norfolk, Virginia, and showed interest in boxing from a young age. According to official records, he fought 214 bouts as an amateur, winning 201. However, Whitaker claimed to have fought over 500 times during his amateur career. His first major breakthrough came in 1984 when he won the gold medal at the Los Angeles Olympics. In the final, he knocked down Puerto Rico's Luis Ortiz multiple times, and Ortiz's corner stopped the fight in the second round due to the severe beating. This success led him to the professional ring, where a star-studded career awaited. Fans expected quick results, and Pernell delivered, taking on serious opponents right from the start. Whitaker earned his first professional win on November 15, 1984, against Farein Kamo, securing a second-round technical knockout. In his early fights, Pernell immediately showcased his remarkable skills, defense, evasion, and speed that were hard to match.
Professional boxer, he made generally an all-around outstanding boxer for 6.
He cruised through his next 10 fights with ease before earning a shot at a title.
A left to the body, another left.
And I did everything I wanted to do. I heard him, I boxed tremendously, and I showed good defense.
On March 28, 1987, Whitaker faced his first major test against former world super featherweight champion Roger Mayweather.
I am an entertainer. I like to call myself an entertainer because I go out there to entertain.
Roger had fought names like Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., Mario Martinez, Samuel Serrano, and Rocky Lockridge. He was 3 years older than Pernell and significantly taller, with a massive reach that caused problems for his opponents.
From Erie, Pennsylvania, and his fighter.
Mayweather took control of the center of the ring, keeping his distance and firing off his right hand.
Question is coming in.
Whitaker struggled to find answers to Roger's jabs.
Particularly trainer George Benton want him to be in close.
Following his corner's advice, Pernell targeted the body, but Mayweather's counterattacks made it tough.
Whether or not that took anything out of it.
Whitaker to Mayweather's body.
With just 10 seconds left in the round, Whitaker faked a body shot and landed a surprise right to Roger's head, dropping him.
Both Lou Duva and right hook, and he's down.
Whitaker followed up with a few more punches before the referee stopped the action. This fight was a tough challenge for Whitaker, who lacked the experience to dominate such a seasoned fighter.
Mayweather down in round 1. Now Mayweather
Whitaker loading up one punch. Mayweather missing.
In the 9th round, Mayweather knocked Whitaker down with a right hand. However, Pernell won by decision, overcoming a former world champion to claim the NAF lightweight title. Whitaker had phenomenal technique. Many experts highlighted how he could read his opponent's body language, making him nearly impossible to hit. Commentator Larry Merchant once said, "He makes you miss, and then he makes you pay. He is a master at dictating the terms of engagement in the ring. His defense is so sublime that he almost becomes untouchable." From then on, the Untouchable became his unofficial nickname. As for his first nickname, Sweet Pea, that one came about by accident. In his home state of Virginia, Whitaker was insanely popular. Fans would often chant Sweet Pete during his fights. One day, a local newspaper wrote about his success, but the journalist misheard the chant and printed Sweet Pea instead. The name stuck, and the rest is history. In 1987, Pernell wrapped up the year with 3 more quick wins, adding the IBF USBA lightweight belt to his collection. But his next fight left everyone stunned by the judge's decision. The first controversial match that ended in defeat for our hero took place in March 1988 in France, where his opponent lived. That night, Whitaker fought for the World Championship title for the first time against Jose Luis Ramirez.
But he also brings to the table his knowledge.
What do you think of the management?
First of all, when you got a guy like much for you to get into the top 10, now it's going to be the same thing all night long.
Against Davey Montana, and many feel
jabs, but I'm going to drop my left hand,
Throughout the fight, Sweet Pea skillfully evaded the champion's attacks and countered effectively.
That's a little more consistency, but as you can see, Whitaker is looking to take his first world.
Ramirez struggled to catch him, absorbing counterattacks instead.
Trying to work behind that.
Whitaker's punches were more precise than those of the Mexican fighter.
Liking guys that come forward. They like guys, just what you said about to control the fight, but Ramirez is making the type of fight he has to.
So much, he's so elusive, he's so quick.
Very awkward. That he, his early career.
Oh, nice body shot.
Back over.
And in any form, just touching, right?
However, in a split decision, the judges awarded the victory to Ramirez, leaving everyone in shock. When the judges' scores were announced, Whitaker was visibly stunned.
You want the judges? You don't leave any.
Ramirez looking to the body. Good combination from Whitaker.
One of the ABC commentators claimed that Whitaker won by a margin of 3 points.
Ramirez tried to hook with the hook that time.
In a post-fight interview, Whitaker's trainer stated that his fighter had been robbed by the judges. Whitaker was not one to shy away from competition. He bounced back in the title race, smoothly overcoming his next opponent. On February 18, 1989, he claimed the IBF World Championship title from American Greg Haugen.
I think if we could interview him right now, he might take the first 4 rounds.
In that match, Whitaker showcased complete dominance.
Oh, he definitely thinks that. He says that Whitaker's tired against Ramirez, he's tired against Mayweather. Good body punch right to the body.
His speed and defensive skills made him unbeatable that night.
And another solid punching, and Haugen did come back with punches. They didn't score. Whitaker is fighting him so aggressively. Well, he's tried that behind the back punch before, and a scoring combination by
Every punch from Whitaker landed precisely, while his defense left Haugen with no chances.
Whitaker in complete control of this fight. Look at Whitaker over in his corner on his stool, in between rounds.
This fight marked his first significant title victory and proved he was ready to reign as the lightweight king, initiating one of the most remarkable reigns in lightweight history.
But none of that has happened. I mean, it's been an Olympian difference. Could put Greg Haugen away. Keep in mind, Greg Haugen is the world champion. Case to him, Alex, that he's never been confronted. His loss to Jose Luis Ramirez in Paris.
Well, I always dreamed, dreams are for dreamers, and I dream, and I figured one day I would win a world title, but I wanted to win it at home, and thank Greg Haugen for giving me the opportunity.
And he can reestablish his reputation. Look great.
In April 1989, he defended his title by defeating the unbeaten Louis Lamelli.
From the rounds we've seen so far, Dan, that's accurate.
The long-awaited rematch between Whitaker and Jose Luis Ramirez took place in August 1989, this time in the United States.
Circles around him early. It's a matter if he can. Oh, he kind of came back to win it. But look at Whitaker.
After the controversial loss in their first encounter, Whitaker stepped into the ring determined to prove his worth.
In the first fight, it was the movement by Whitaker that got the body. And he should go to the body. Right now, you have to wonder. She's paying close attention to what's happening.
In this bout, he displayed absolute control, managing the distance and the fight from start to finish.
Even when he's standing right there that close, Ramirez just can't land anything. Oh, an uppercut he landed.
Everything he did, from defense to counterattacks, was top-notch.
In the lightweight division, Jose Luis Ramirez Whitaker is turning his shoulder and walking away. He's getting, Ramirez is able to make sure he paces himself and keeps his energy level up. Oh, and a really
Whitaker's accuracy significantly surpassed that of the Mexican fighter. He won decisively.
More of a headhunter than anything else. I mean, it's possible that Pernell Whitaker's hands way down too far. Now, for the first time in the fight, he's pinned in the corner, clowning and showboating, and runs away with his back turned.
This fight not only secured Whitaker the WBC title, but also solidified his position as the best lightweight in the world.
Ron Lyle from 1976, Sweet Pea.
In February 1990, a unification bout took place in the lightweight division between IBF champion Pernell Whitaker and WBC champion Freddie Pendleton.
And each fighter starting with the jab.
Make them go to the unnatural way.
Whitaker controlled the early rounds, closing in on Pendleton and neutralizing his right hand.
14th with a left hook. With the left hand and a couple of some dirty stuff, and Camacho said after.
In the fourth round, Pendleton landed a precise right and a jab.
Good combination. We're live at Trump Plaza at Convention Hall in Atlantic City. Analyst as well. Glad you're with us.
This is a good round for Freddie Pendleton. Pernell Whitaker earlier.
But Whitaker responded with a combination in the fifth, despite a split lip.
And he can go a lot higher if he can come up with this one.
Good combination. There was
4 or 5 in the world pound.
His left straight gave him the advantage, while Pendleton frequently missed with his right.
That's the biggest nemesis against someone like Whitaker, is his speed.
Pendleton's best moment came in the 8th round when he landed 2 rights on Whitaker, but he fatigued in the later rounds.
Right into the right hand, boom, come right back to the left.
Lands the right, another straight right.
His left knee touched the canvas again.
The answer, I don't think he knows.
Whitaker.
Since the Roger Mayweather fight, really Whitaker has not been in it.
could not be saved by the bell in any round, even the final round. Pendleton with a late flurry, and that's it.
Whitaker confidently outboxed his opponent in the 12th round, winning and unifying the titles. In May 1990, Whitaker faced Ghanaian boxer Azuma Nelson and secured a convincing points victory.
Both fighters looked happy.
Type of style, he's going to be subject. But what I was saying early, Pernell gets down low too. It makes it tough to land a great deal of change. Good right hand landed by Nelson. The WBC IBF lightweight champion of the world.
In August 1990, a bout for the undisputed lightweight championship took place between Pernell Whitaker and Juan Nazario from Puerto Rico.
Now protect yourself at all times.
Open your mouth, though, doesn't it?
Known for his lack of knockout power, Whitaker knocked out his opponent in the first round. With this victory, he became the first undisputed world champion in the lightweight division since Roberto Duran in 1978. Following that, In his next 5 fights, he defended his lightweight titles 3 times, each time winning by unanimous decision after 12 rounds. Overall, Sweet Pea won his fights through a higher percentage of accurate punches. A striking example of this is his bout against Anthony Jones.
Larry, for an interview later in the fight. So we'll look forward to that as well.
During their 12-round fight, Pernell threw 817 punches, while his opponent threw 845.
Jones fighting almost Pressure Smith.
However, only 173 of Jones's punches landed, whereas Whitaker connected with an impressive 426 punches. Whitaker achieved a decisive victory.
Duba mentioned it. February has been the cruelly considered Chavez at 140 pounds. Obviously, the money will be
Hearns, Leonard moved up and down from welterweight to light heavyweight.
In July 1991, he defeated the undefeated Paulie Diaz.
Into Diaz's feet. And Diaz counters and punches. And that was the punches, but they're too quick to get out of the way of. And again, Whitaker almost goes below the belt. Al Rothenberg says, don't hold him and hit him. Diaz has purposely gone out of his way to fight southpaws to get rid of the real knockdown. Whitaker.
It's interesting, Whitaker looked into the corner.
Then, in October 1991, Whitaker won against Jorge Paez.
And Paez began.
Pernell Whitaker is dynamic.
As you look at Paez's forays, he might have the chance to land shots inside.
Believe me, he can punch. But he's going to have to establish to this guy, I'm not running this guy off the guy. Go right at him.
Left to the body by Paez. Whitaker coming back straight ahead.
After that, he moved up to welterweight to challenge the IBF champion, the powerful Colombian Rafael Pineda.
Usually a good sign at this point.
On July 18, 1992, Whitaker, a clear favorite, gradually wore down Pineda while avoiding his punches.
The ones who saw him spar came away opposite. He wasn't winning the
Pineda received penalty points in the 6th round for low blows.
1,200 on hand. On the national TV audience.
In the 8th round, Whitaker knocked Pineda down with a right hook to the body.
And he fought Anthony here. And Pineda.
In the same round, Pineda again received penalty points for low blows, which reportedly caused discomfort to Whitaker.
A low blow to Whitaker.
Sweat Pea, while not known for his power punches, effectively worked the body.
Calling Whitaker the best.
Despite Whitaker's taunts in the final rounds, the judges agreed he deserved the victory.
That would appear to be a classic fight.
Whitaker landed 321 out of 787 punches, while Pineda connected with 206 out of 700. After that, Whitaker moved up to welterweight and on March 6, 1993, fought for the WBC welterweight title against American James Buddy McGirt.
And one has been out for so long and moved too much.
You're suggesting that it may not have been a pass.
Hitting up the shoulder that really hurts if the throwing those
Out 5 of them.
It's like, hit me again.
Counter punching. There's the left hand for Whitaker. Leaping.
Both fighters were considered among the best in boxing, with odds favoring Whitaker at 12-5.
Of the battle here. He's too good a counter puncher. You've got to cut the ring off against him.
Especially if you're the lighter guy by nature.
At the beginning of the fight, it was even, but in the middle rounds, Whitaker took control as McGirt struggled with a shoulder injury.
Good ropes, George. You better keep moving.
By making the guy come.
Whitaker landed 314 out of 768 punches, while McGirt connected with 238 out of 717.
Only after he'd been thumbed in the eye. Great straight with both fighters having made statements.
He's definitely having some left hand. Remember, in fighting a southpaw, you need a good right hand lead. The left hand is not.
The fight went the full 12 rounds, and Whitaker earned a close but unanimous victory.
Right hand lands solidly. Has a signed contract to fight Julio Cesar Chavez later this year. Win or lose tonight.
Whitaker was unaware that before his fight with McGirt, an agreement had already been made between his promoter Dan Duva and Julio Cesar Chavez's promoter for Chavez to fight for Whitaker's title. Whitaker's trainer and manager, Lou Duva, did not want to distract him from the fight.
I've fought some tough fighters and I've proven myself. I've beaten them all. So this is the only guy that stands in the way of me proving I'm the best out of time. He thinks he's gonna play with me. But he's wrong. You guys ain't gonna hurt him. Every fight that I prepared for is the fight of my life.
One of the most controversial fights in boxing history was the match between Whitaker and Julio Cesar Chavez, who had previously never known defeat. Millions of fans had waited for years for this mega fight against the Mexican boxing icon, which took place on September 10, 1993, in Texas in the welterweight division.
Here we go. Round one scheduled for 12. For Pernell Whitaker's done any change in the judges, they go home. But then,
I'll tell you what, Steve, I have bigger butterflies. Box beautifully tonight.
After this date, Whitaker was considered the best fighter in the world for 3 consecutive years.
Criticize him for it. Whitaker's doing it.
Pernell Whitaker Pernell Whitaker.
While it would be unfair to reduce a rich boxing career to just one fight, if it had to be done, it would be the clash with Julio Cesar Chavez.
Defensive posture as he backs off on Chavez.
The boxing community had been dreaming of such a match for nearly 5 years.
But more importantly, the right to be called the best fighter.
It was not only a showdown between the best fighters on the planet, but also a classic battle of styles, the elusive counterpuncher Whitaker against the aggressive, tenacious bulldog from Sonora. And the boxer proved to be stronger than the fighter.
Mouse game again in the corner.
A knockout past the 7th round. Let's see what happens.
There's actually a mistake. He's squaring up, making himself a bigger target because he's so front.
Whitaker controlled the fight from the start, showcasing his defensive magic and sharp counterattacks. He astonished everyone with his calmness and skill, evading nearly every punch from Chavez.
You actually uttered those words, Ferdy. Chavez, sweet pea Whitaker. He's trying to just get the movement. That could become an issue.
However, the judges saw it differently. The fight was declared a draw despite Whitaker's clear dominance.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Slapping shots by Whitaker.
The Mildred-Taylor fight was actually considerably further.
A brilliant exhibition of ring generalship. Oh, he's got his own title to defend in December.
History. It could be history in the making.
There's no question in my mind that Pernell Whitaker won all of the rounds after round 6, including round 6. I think the worst robbery in a major fight we've had in the last 20 years.
Well, I looked at the fight very closely, and I failed to see Chavez really catching Whitaker with any clean shots. I felt Whitaker, used his jab well, moved well, and stayed away from punches. And, he was connecting well as well.
You would have given it to Whitaker by a slightly wider margin than Barry here did.
Most definitely, at least 2 or 3 rounds.
I don't need to fight him again. Exactly. I think the fans know who won the first time. So we really don't have to do it again, but I would love to do it again for the fans. I think my people, we made an offer that he can't refuse, $7 million. So it won't be for the money. We can do this for nothing and the fans will still enjoy it.
There was no rematch, but did one need to happen? Everyone saw who was truly stronger. This was reflected in the pound-for-pound rankings, where Pernell Whitaker reigned supreme until his physical decline years later, which Oscar de la Hoya capitalized on, with a little help from the judges. In March 1994, Whitaker defeated Santos Cardona by unanimous decision. Then, in October 1994, he faced Buddy McGirt again in a rematch. After their first fight, McGirt was diagnosed with a rotator cuff tear and underwent surgery the next day. He returned to boxing in November, winning 5 consecutive fights, and agreed to a rematch with Whitaker in August 1994, which eventually took place in October.
His arsenal if it's there tonight. McGirt sticking like the wrong fight, trying to do. Haven't seen McGirt throw the left hook with gusto. McGirt sticking the jab landing.
Whitaker was knocked down in the second round by a right hand from McGirt.
Some space between himself and McGirt. And down goes Whitaker on a right hand by McGirt. That's only the third.
It was just a little slip. I got caught off balance, and it didn't hurt me, Whitaker said afterward.
Whitaker protests, but it looked like a solid knockdown from here. Move the way he wants it to move and scoring points. And this one will not be called.
McGirt developed a significant swelling under his left eye during the fight.
Not to rule this one a knockdown. No snapping, devastating left hook, but one from Whitaker.
That hurt McGirt. McGirt is trouble. McGirt is hurt. Not in front of Buddy McGirt. Buddy can't land that right hand.
There's the right hand, but it doesn't seem to be. Bitten the seventh. Another sensational left hand.
Mostly because Whitaker is never really in front of him.
Solid right hand inside for once. One more left hand shot. And he got a right hand in as the fit for the moment. And now here comes the straight left again. And he lands one to the body.
The bout again went the full 12 rounds and ended with a unanimous victory for Sweet Pea. In the middle of his reign as welterweight champion, Whitaker moved up to 154 pounds and defeated the much larger Julio Cesar Vasquez in a bout for the WBA title.
Very well before the bell rang.
Slow-footed and straightforward. Pernell holding that right hand very low, Gil. What will that mean against the southpaw?
If Whitaker could use that.
Yes, I'm surprised a little bit, Larry, but you know, Whitaker.
In the fourth round, during a showboating moment with his hands down, Whitaker lost his balance and was knocked down by a left punch.
He wasn't really ready to put forth his best effort. A showboating Whitaker goes down on a left hand. Another hard left hand shot by Vasquez. And that size and power.
In the 9th and 11th rounds, Vasquez had points deducted for holding and low blows.
Outside with it.
Saying exactly that between rounds. Keep going to the body. Garcia has the right.
But he has warned Vasquez.
Understand if that head can move up and down, but the body's there. Good flurry.
I'll say this for Ronnie T.
Whitaker landed 320 out of 564 punches, while Vasquez connected with 243 out of 803.
In what might be seen by many as a very close fight.
Anything effective, and I think that's all he has to do in this round. And you know, Jim, I would still have Whitaker winning even if the referee did not deduct those 2 points.
Pernell Whitaker became a champion in 4 weight classes. After this victory, he entered history as the 4th boxer at that time to achieve such success. In August 1995, Whitaker successfully defended his title once again, defeating Gary Jacobs.
Everybody can punch.
And Gary Jacobs up for a while.
Oh, there you go.
The game possible.
On November 18th, 1995, returning after a break of 2 months and 23 days, Whitaker put on an impressive performance, stopping Jake Rodriguez by knockout in the 6th round. This victory improved his record to January 1st, 37, with 16 knockouts. In 1996, Whitaker had only 2 fights, facing the undefeated Puerto Rican Wilfredo Rivera twice. In their first encounter, Whitaker had a less than convincing performance, but won by a controversial decision from the judges.
2 rounds. Rivera tapping punches. He doesn't throw nearly as hard when he's in the conventional stance and when the bloody...
After the fight, he explained his form by saying he had been suffering from the flu, which, according to him, affected the outcome.
Right hand counter inside. Whitaker not throwing much. Rivera looking, winking at us.
He believes that he's taking this thing from Pernell Whitaker.
He thinks he's got it. He thinks he's got one of the biggest upsets in recent years in boxing.
A controversial decision led to an immediate rematch, and on September 20th, 1996, Whitaker faced Rivera again.
And now Rivera starts to try to back Whitaker up as he did in the closing.
In the 5th round, Whitaker was sent to the canvas after a body shot from Rivera, although it seemed more like Whitaker tripped over his opponent's left foot. In the 6th round, Rivera was penalized 1 point for a low blow.
In other words, again with the right hand, that time Pernell didn't fire the left, another low.
And later in the same round, he found himself on the canvas after a straight left hand to the chin.
And if Whitaker wins the round, it becomes a 10-8 round for him.
Well, he's going to win the...
Whitaker landed 266 of 616 punches, while Rivera connected with 201 of 897.
Thrown a lot of combinations in this fight, but here
This time, Whitaker performed more confidently, winning by unanimous decision and confirming his superiority.
A little showmanship for the fans, and Rivera answers it with a straight right hand to the knee.
In January 1997, Pernell Whitaker faced the undefeated Cuban Diospolis Hurtado. Just in the 1st round, within seconds of the fight, Hurtado landed a right hook, and Whitaker found himself on the floor.
Of boxing, Whitaker a totally known quantity. Hurtado at this level totally unknown. And Hurtado plants Whitaker.
The American quickly got up, even laughing during the referee's count.
For that big crowd in Las Vegas. And the one of Trump's before. He was down against Rafael Williams, bench and center. Pernell Whitaker trying to step right through the American.
Hurtado moved a lot around the ring, preferring to fight on the counter.
Whitaker sometimes is stumbling down on his own, picking the other guy up, and really the guy is making him fall in energy away, looking for one shot.
In the 5th round, the referee deducted 1 point from the Cuban for hitting Whitaker in the back while he was bending down.
Pernell ought to tattoo him with the jab.
Yeah, he can't see on that side, no doubt about it, but Whitaker just doesn't seem to want to.
In the 6th round, Hurtado landed a combination to the head, and Whitaker, losing his balance, went down on one knee, although the punches were not powerful. The referee counted it as a knockdown, which caused disagreement from Whitaker.
Down goes Whitaker for the 2nd time in the fight. It comes in the 6th round. There was
boxer. You don't want to end it trying to be a slugger, and that's what Whitaker's doing.
is anything that happens in this fight.
In the middle of the 11th round, Whitaker pressed Hurtado against the ropes, landed a powerful left hook to the head, and then threw 9 more precise punches. The Cuban lost control and slumped lifelessly between the ropes.
beating Whitaker to get. Oh, what a left hand by Whitaker! Arthur McCanny takes advantage with 4 more straight lefts. Arthur McCanny watching.
The referee, intervening with a delay, stopped the fight, and the battered Hurtado took several minutes to recover. Pernell Whitaker versus Oscar De La Hoya. Robbery or not? This legendary match against the third Mexican took place in 1997. At 24 years old, Oscar De La Hoya had an unblemished record of 23-0, was a three-time world champion, and was the reigning WBC champion in the welterweight division, having won the title a year earlier in a fight against the legendary Mexican Julio Cesar Chavez. At the time of the fight, Whitaker and De La Hoya were ranked second and third in the pound-for-pound rankings, trailing only WBC light heavyweight champion Roy Jones Jr.
What I see Whitaker is going to work the jab.
Indication moves to his right. De La Hoya.
That night, Whitaker became the first to make the legendary champion look beaten.
Dominant left side. To this point in his career, to the body by De La Hoya.
Good counter by De La Hoya. Good counter right hand by De La Hoya.
Misses with the left hook. Follows.
De La Hoya constantly missed punches, overwhelmed by confusion that caused him to smile nervously.
Bother him. Has been stopped. Jesus Rivero asking him between rounds to create more distance between him. De La Hoya flurries at the end of the round. That catches the eye.
Moreover, in the 9th round, Whitaker even knocked his opponent down with a left hook. Although De La Hoya quickly got up, showing that it was more of a fall due to a loss of balance. However, referee Mills Lane considered it an official knockdown.
Out-muscle him and outrun him in these last 2 rounds. Body shots from De La Hoya.
At the end of the fight, the judges awarded the victory to Oscar, believing that he landed more power punches, while Pernell threw lighter shots. However, many experts and sports journalists felt that Whitaker deserved the win. Whitaker outlanded De La Hoya, landing 232 punches compared to 191 for Oscar, and dominated with jabs, 160 against only 45 from De La Hoya. Despite landing fewer power punches and jabs, De La Hoya had a clear advantage in power punches, landing 146 against 72 for Whitaker, which likely influenced the judges. Whitaker disagreed with the decision.
How do you respond to that? I disagree wholeheartedly because in the fight, it's who's in control. It's the man who comes out, sets the tempo of the fight, and controls it. And that's what I done from the opening bell, which was to control the fight.
Sweet Pea achieved 40 victories and suffered 3 defeats, but all were quite controversial. You might ask why. It's all due to a fight that was ruled a no contest. This occurred in his next bout. On October 17, 1997, Whitaker defeated the Russian Andrei Pestriev by points in a 10-round fight, but after Whitaker's post-fight cocaine test came back positive, the result was changed to no contest.
I was sorry that whatever happened. So, I took full responsibility. I shouldn't have, but I did. And I don't even talk about that's 98. This is 99. I have nothing to say about that. That year is over.
Following this, the champion was suspended from fights for 6 months. Whitaker continued his career, but he was not in his best form.
That's not going to be the way I'm going to be remembered in this sport for what happened back then. 1 year out of 14 years, I'm going out on top. Now I can come back, win this fight, and reclaim my state as the best fighter in the world, pound for pound.
Whitaker had another fight on February 20th, 1999, in which he challenged Puerto Rican Felix Trinidad for the IBF welterweight championship title.
That scoring for the bout, he has gotten up to avenge the...
Going to get too close, but once he gets...
De La Hoya fought
The fight began with an aggressive style from both boxers, involving many pushes. In the subsequent rounds, they actively used jabs, but Trinidad gained the advantage when Whitaker attempted to fight up close.
Trinidad's corner is going to have to be real cagey and classic technique against the southpaw. Whitaker diving in, pounding Trinidad to the hard left hand from Trinidad. One shot hurts you.
At the end of the second round, Trinidad knocked Whitaker down.
Because this guy can hit.
In the fourth, fifth, and sixth rounds, the fighters exchanged combinations. Later, both fell to the canvas, but the referee considered it accidental slipping.
We're seeing Pernell Whitaker winning the fight, going right at Felix. Get him. I don't know if you want to do it, but at the same time, you don't want to put him out. Whitaker showing a pretty stiff chin as he takes two vicious. Larry, how would you compare the punching power of Felix Trinidad as 140?
Pernell Whitaker with those straight rights and a good left jabs.
In the seventh round, Whitaker became more active, engaging in exchanges of power punches with Trinidad.
Right hand to the body landed. Trinidad is another good body shot. And Trinidad, when you have the height advantage, you're pausing to wave the right fist at his supporters in the crowd.
However, the champion continued to control the pace in the 8th, 9th, and 10th rounds.
Getting his legs back and fires the left hand. Trinidad going on. Informed us that Felix Trinidad's you've been training, you've trained the way you've been around for a while. Good body shot. I think Pernell is out of rounds. He's going to have to get to the body. That's what's working for him. Right hand for Whitaker down with the left hand. Whitaker cornered now, sits down on his...
In the final round, Whitaker, with a severely swollen right eye, went into a purely defensive position, avoiding his opponent's attacks while Trinidad continued to press until the final bell.
Straight riders being a little tired in the 12th. To the body of Felix Trinidad. On the few occasions, or so we most fervently hope.
He would beat De La Hoya in a fight between them.
Physical fight, but taking the toughest pounding of his career. Welterweight dramas in the desert and in the garden.
In this match, Whitaker truly lost, but it is worth noting that he fought most of the match with a broken jaw. The judges scored the bout 117 to 111, 118 to 109, and 118 to 109 in favor of the champion. This fight became a symbol of the passing of the torch from the old to the new. 2 years later, in 2001, with a record of March 1st, 40 and at the age of 37, Whitaker fought his last match against Mexican Carlos Bojorquez, which ended prematurely due to a shoulder injury in the 4th round. This was the only stoppage loss in Whitaker's career. After this bout, the legendary champion would say, "It seems like this is the end." Many rightfully believe that Whitaker deserves a place among the top 5 defensive fighters in boxing history. At the peak of his career, which lasted about 10 years, he was a true delight for spectators and a nightmare for opponents. Whitaker finished his professional career with 40 wins, 17 of them by knockout, 4 losses, 1 draw, and 1 no contest. In 2007, his name was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. Unfortunately, the boxing legend passed away in 2019 due to a tragic accident. The fighter succumbed to his injuries before help arrived at the age of 55. The driver who hit Whitaker remained at the scene and called for help himself. It was a dark day for all boxing fans. Today, boxing fans miss Whitaker. He should have remained a part of the sport he made truly beautiful. Whitaker still holds a unique place in the hearts of fans and ranks among the top 10 boxers of the last 80 years. His name stands alongside the greatest. Undefeated Floyd Mayweather Jr. posted a photo with Whitaker on Instagram, writing, "Rest in peace, champ, one of the best fighters to ever do it." This photo was taken just a day before Pernell's death on July 13th at a signing event in Virginia that featured both legends.